Nobody loves Alani more than me.
Look at that! Okay, I'm like a professional. Oh my god! I'm not overreacting, by the way. This is a total normal reaction to this.
Hey y'all, welcome in and welcome back to the channel. Welcome to a new video. Today we're talking about another TikTok trend. I actually don't know that trend is quite the word for this. I think obsession might be a little bit more appropriate. Today we're talking about the Alani new energy drink fall release of their limited edition flavor of witch's brew and relatedly the pumpkin cream. The Alani new TikTok people are going crazy for this. Like when I say obsessed, I don't mean obsessed like, wow, this is great. I mean, people are driving hours to go get this flavor, and people are buying like 200 cans of this flavor all at once. It's honestly it's a little wild. So in this video, we're going to talk a little bit about why I think TikTok's obsessed with this fall drop or what might be behind it. And then we'll talk about how things dip into overconsumption. Let's get into it and let's talk about Alani Nu first. Alani Nu is a supplement company, or the brand started as a supplement company in 2018. It was founded by a fitness influencer, Katie Hearn, and they still do sell supplements. Alani Nu, or sometimes just called Alani, stands for Alani Nutrition. They began releasing energy drinks, and their drinks became much more popular than the supplements. So in this video, we're going to be talking exclusively about their energy drinks. We're not going to be talking about their supplements. Before 2018, the major energy drink competitors in the US anyway, because it's an American brand, were largely Monster and Red Bull. Monster appealed a lot to men. I was reading that blue collar workers were prime or are prime demographic for Monster students, young men as well. They have, pivoted a little over the years, and it's not just the black and green cans. They have some pink cans and white cans, and they've done some things, but I think historically Monster has appealed a lot to men. Red Bull attempted to appeal to athletes and students very heavily. I know I saw Red Bull on campus all the time when I was in university. There are other competitors now like Celsius, which recently bought Alani Nu, and I think in the last few years, Alani's greatest competitor would have been Celsius. Alani and Celsius appeal to women, mostly middle class women, I think is their largest demographic for both of them. The Celsius can is kind of reminiscent of a White Claw, and both Alani and Celsius kind of have those wellness aspects to them. Alani, I think, has maybe a stronger appeal with younger women given the overall aesthetics of the can and the packaging and the branding. We'll talk a little bit more about that in just a second. They have flavors like pink slush and cotton candy that were a little bit or are a little bit more fun than Celsius, which is mostly fruit flavored. Alani is more explicitly in the health and wellness marketing of their products. I think appealing to people who are health or weight conscious as their drinks are intentionally low calorie and low sugar. Their drinks also contain vitamins, which I think a lot of people see as like a positive thing. And so their energy drink has a little bit more, it's a little bit more health leaning. Given that the company was influencer founded, they understood the role of social media right from the beginning. They did not need to adapt to TikTok when TikTok rose in popularity. They were the perfect kind of brand for TikTok. Alani was around 2 years old when TikTok took off. And they were the right brand at the right moment, I think. Kind of similar to many brands. They, like, you have a couple of years under your belt, you have more money to be able to put into campaigns, but also a brand that understands the importance of social media, recognize the importance of TikTok from the jump. They do partnerships with all kinds of TikTokers, but they also don't need to do partnerships and haven't needed to for some time because they've just done so well as a brand. Like they appeal to the masses. And some of the content we're going to watch today kind of is free marketing in a way. They've developed an extremely loyal following, and a community has developed around the brand. We have seen brand loyalty and obsession even with other types of brands. So it's not that Alani is unique in that sense. They're just, I think, another example. Like they're just the right brand. When I say Alani has a loyal following, what I mean is people love the drink. I'm going to show you some examples. These are just quick rapid fire to illustrate a point. We'll be looking at more videos later. This person has a cart full of witch's brew. They bought about 200 cans at one time. This person has an Alani fridge dedicated to their Alanis. This person also has an Alani fridge. This person is on their hands and knees cleaning off a shelf of limited edition flavors. This person in 2023, so 2 years ago, bought each of their bridesmaids Alani's the morning of her wedding. This TikTok is from a student, but is showing the classroom of a teacher that has a wall of Alani's displaying all of their products. This person bought cases for their dorm room. This is somebody filling up a drawer with their Alanis. I don't need to continue. I think this is enough to illustrate my point, but we're going to continue later. I'm showing you all these examples to illustrate that Alani has this loyal following and people have been loyal for a long time. Loyalty doesn't feel like the right word. There's this obsession. I don't know if obsession is the right word either. And this raises the question a little bit, why? Like, why are people so obsessed? Alani does the limited edition drops better than their other competitors. There is so much hype and craze about witch's brew and now this year pumpkin cream. And they haven't just sold witch's brew. Like this isn't the first year they've done it. This is at least the third year they've done it. I believe the first year they did it was 22 or 23. And they've done other limited edition flavors. And some of these are going to come around every year. Others, they sell them and then they're gone. I mean, maybe eventually they'll bring them back from the vault, but the implication being this is just the flavor for now. That is something that has had so much success with this brand, but historically with so many brands. And it really gets into the hunt and the search and the find of these flavors. And it has really worked for them. They also have such great aesthetic packaging. I don't think I can emphasize this enough that Alani really fits into the aestheticization of TikTok and TikTok's overall obsession or interest in aesthetics. They have really interesting packaging, really aesthetic packaging. A lot of it I feel like is maybe more girly. Like there's a lot of pinks and oranges on there that the other brands don't do. Like the Red Bull can is pretty neutral, the Celsius can is pretty neutral too, and they have really bright, fun packaging that looks really great on TikTok. And then of course, the flavor stays great too. Think about something like Touchland. Touchland is another brand that people go crazy for because of the aesthetics. And that's a really big driver here too. Back to the limited edition flavors though, fall is, I kind of feel like the queen of the limited edition flavor. There is such a love of fall or autumn, and there are so many brands that have the track record to show the interest in these things. Bath and Body Works candles that we looked at, the pumpkin spice PSL. People anticipate these drops, most especially if they come out year after year. And fall is just, I feel like, the perfect time for a brand that does the limited edition thing. Part of the reason is that fall itself carries a strong emotional weight for people. That emotional weight is also deeply rooted in our senses. It's a very sensorial, sense driven season and really clear notes for brands to tap into and to use. And so part of the appeal of fall specifically is that these limited edition products, Alani New aside, but ones that use these fall flavors and scents, these products become ways for people to purchase or tap into these feelings. So they're not buying the product per se, they're buying the feeling or the nostalgia. TikTok accelerates FOMO when you see people hunting and searching for the Alanis, and you see people going to the store, oh, it's July 29th, and the Alanis are in Idaho. And people are running to the store buying cases. That's what's happening. And so then you feel like, oh, I'm going to miss out. I'm not going to be able to buy it. Or if you've never heard of Alanis, you might go, oh, I want to try that too. Our brains quite often associate scarcity with value. And when it comes to the seasonality of it, that pushes people to buy the things just because of the limited edition factor. So we're not asking ourselves, oh, do I like this flavor? Do I even need any more energy drinks? Or this applies outside of Alani Nu. Do I even need any more candles? We don't assess our needs. We don't assess what we already have. We can get caught up in just chasing the flavor or the limited edition product. So it's not, do I need this? It's, how do I get this before it sells out? And we can get stuck in the thrill of the chase. And so limited edition seasonal products really pull it into the framework of consumerism. I can't emphasize enough how much limited edition products create FOMO and scarcity, and that encourages impulse buying and shopping. And in some cases, hoarding cases of the drink because they don't want to be without it or they don't know when they'll get it again. And so when we get to this stage or when our shopping is driven by the FOMO and the scarcity, it's no longer about the product or even that you like it or you'll use it. It's about the hunt, but it also feeds this endless cycle of wanting, buying, and chasing the next drop. You might not be chasing the next drop with the Alani, but if you have this habit kind of generally in your own life and you go to shopping and you're just used to like the hunt, the want, the shop, the chase, this is another way to do that. It's another way to get the pleasure. And it might be extra pleasurable if you go searching for something and then you do in fact find it. Or maybe you don't find it for a while, but you find it eventually. That can create huge amounts of pleasure. To be clear, I'm not saying that you can't like Alani or you can't like seasonal flavors. No, I'm also not saying that companies are nasty for releasing limited edition flavors. And I'm also not calling you a sheep or somehow stupid or anything like that because you like these flavors or because you're interested in trying them. I'm raising these points to hopefully allow you to pinpoint some of what you might be feeling or where your interests might be coming from. These are strategies that are designed to keep us buying, shopping, and interested. It's worth noting that our excitement for these products may be engineered or may be manufactured or heightened by some of these strategies. Alani as well really nails, in my opinion, this really interesting in-between space. They're not a $7 latte or a fancy supplement. They're a $2 to $3 drink. And it's also not a boring can of Red Bull. You know, they're sitting there right on the shelves of your Target or your Walmart, and they're cheap enough as an individual item to not have to think too hard about this $2 or $3. It feels as well like a treat. But because of the price point, it can become a treat that you can feel justified buying every week. And then you may get used to the treat and liking the treat and wanting the treat, that it shifts from being a treat to being a staple. At the same time, though, it looks good on TikTok, it photographs well, it carries a little bit of social currency, and it's an everyday indulgence that's small enough to rationalize, but aesthetic enough to feel like you're buying into a lifestyle. That's a bit of the appeal, I think. It's accessible, it's repeatable, and in some ways affordable, but it's also aspirational. With all of this under our belt, let's now look at these witch's brew and pumpkin cream TikToks. As mentioned, Witch's Brew is one of their fall flavors. It's described as a bit of a candy apple flavor, and they sell them in a few ways. They sell them in some cases loose, so you could just buy one or two, and you'll see in some of the TikToks, or one of them specifically, where there's a 2 for $5 deal. They sell them in open cases, so some stores will sell them individually from a larger case. Other stores will sell them by case, or in some cases both. They also sell them in closed cases, kind of like a case of pop or beer, and they'll just be Witch's Brew. And then there's a new case this year, which is a combination of Witch's Brew and pumpkin cream. The pumpkin cream flavor is new for 2025. So let's get started with our first clip, and we're starting soft, okay? We're easing our way in. It's a short one, and I don't think I can play the audio, but if you're on TikTok, then you're familiar, and it's an audio that says, "Finally, I've been trying to catch you boys all day," implying that they've been searching for these Alanis for a while. The text on the screen says, "POV, you find Alani Witch's Brew on July 29th." And then the caption says, "Yay, best flavor ever, and I can't wait to try the pumpkin one." They got the twin pack of the Witch's Brew with the pumpkin cream. Well, let's now look at a TikTok of two ladies who were looking for the Witch's Brew and finally got it.
They're beautiful cans.
They're beautiful cans.
Oh, you're taping?
God bless Sergio from Instacart.
I felt like we were playing a game. We could not find these. So we needed an Instacart tonight because of this fool. And Morgan was like, send him a photo.
I said, look, this is what we're going to do. I've done this in the past. You take a screenshot of the specific item you're looking for, which were these. And I said, look, I'm putting these flavor Alanis in my cart. I'm putting the orange kiss ones. I'm putting the cotton candy. I'm putting those flavors in the
Cherry
cart. But
slush.
if they have these,
We want these.
I want these ones because they're not on the app. Substitute them out. I will change the quantities, whatever you need. And the man, Sergio, he pulled through. He said, bet, 2 24-packs coming your way. Oh! We also got grapes. And the grapes that they had, they didn't look good. So Sergio said, no, these ones are crunchier. I'm gonna get you these. Sergio, God bless you. Look, I hope you have nothing but cold pillows. And the hottest of fries when you go to McDonald's. And everything. And like, I hope you win the lottery. You just blessed us, and I can't thank you enough.
It's like we won the lottery.
They said it's like they won the lottery. These ladies got 48 cans, which is not the craziest amount that we'll see later, but you can see the excitement, right? They're so excited. They haven't been able to find these anywhere. They were able to get it because of Sergio and Instacart. They say it's like winning the lottery. They're coming at this from a moment of intense excitement. My guess is that they filmed this right after they got their drinks, and so that is peak excitement. Right after you get them. The peak excitement might be when you find them if you go to the store looking for them, but since they hired somebody, this would be peak excitement. So they're filming this at peak excitement. And then they film it and they put it online, and then you watch and you go, oh my God. And then you see all of these videos like this of all people being like, oh my God, I love it, buying 200 cans of this freaking energy drink, and you go, I gotta have it too. Or if you've been looking for it and you can't find it, this just makes you want to find it even more because people are saying it's like winning the lottery. Their comments are full of people saying I can't find this anywhere. Alani also commented, "Bestie, you are fully stocked." We're gonna watch another one, and this one is a really quick one. It says, "Trying to figure out where I can buy Alani cream, Witch's Brew combo pack." The caption says, "I literally cannot find them in Ohio and I'm panicking." She published this on July 26th, and I think the reason why she's panicking is because she's starting to see the rollout online, and she goes, oh, I can't find them in my store. Maybe they don't have them. Maybe we're not getting them. But it's July 26th. The company is just starting to roll these out. These are the beginning of the rollout, and people are already panicking about this. You have to see these comments. Why is everyone gatekeeping it? I'm literally going insane. Another person, I made a special trip to Kroger, Walmart, and GNC with 2 kids in 90-degree heat just to find them. Let me tell you the disappointment. They aren't in the middle of Tennessee yet. Literally, why are they responding to every comment except where they bought it? Literally me right now. I feel like I'm going insane. The creator responds, like the witch's brew had me in a frenzy to begin with, but the pumpkin, take my money. It's a drink. It's a drink. They're not on the Alani website yet either. What do you think that means? Like, they're coming, guys. They're coming. Okay, let's watch another one.
Someone told me that there's a store like an hour from me that has Alani. And when I mean like has Alani, they have cases of all the like good flavors. Strawberry sunrise, cotton candy, witch's brew, sherbet swirl. All of them must have flavors. So I'm about to drive an hour each way and hope and pray that they have the flavors I want when I get there. You ready to go? All right. Guys, they actually
brought her child.
Look at my car right now. So I have 2 packs of swirl, 4 cotton candy, 3 witch's brew, and a strawberry. I'm really restraining not buying all of this. Isn't she gorgeous? Okay, not all of these are for me. I did get some for my sisters, so don't come at me. But all the cotton candy definitely is for me.
She called it gorgeous. We drove an hour each way to find these limited edition flavors. Let me just emphasize this for you. She drove hours, literally hours, for this energy drink. We're going to keep going. This one is just a photo, and it says, "Overconsumption fears my family." They bought 8 24 packs, which is 200, just shy of 200 drinks. All witch's brew. She then posts another TikTok. She goes back to the store. So she's at the store and it says, "Should I buy the rest? They put out more." And there's what appears to be the full display of the Alanis. Girly Pop bought 200 Alanis and it's like, yeah, I gotta get more. 200 is an insane amount to buy at once. I'm sorry, but it is. Like, this is your excitement and your emotions clouding your judgment, or just you relying on your excitement to make your decisions. That's coming up and driving choices more than anything else. I don't know about you, and maybe these Alani people disagree with me, but don't you get flavor fatigue? Like, are you really just gonna enjoy drinking the same drink every single day? Flavor fatigue is a thing, is it not? Like, maybe you have some cotton candy, maybe you have some of this, but then if you're using it with other drinks, then aren't these 200 witch's brew gonna last you more than a year? Are you gonna want these next year, or are you gonna get so excited about next year's flavor or like next year's version of witch's brew that you're gonna go buy that? Okay, here's another one.
Nobody loves Alani more than me. I got a message last night saying Fred Meyer has the witch's brew. So did I buy every single one they had? You're damn right I did. Y'all can be mad at me, but I don't care.
It's all coming up.
Oh, perfect.
Enter the number of...
Alani, if you want to sponsor me, 10 out of 10.
Here's some more at home.
And here's our work fridge with the new witch's brew.
Nobody loves Alani more than me. Why is it a competition? It's not. Like, what do you win? She spent $500 on all of these cases of Alani. $500 is an insane amount to spend on energy drinks. Like, how often do you spend $500? Period. I don't get it. It looked like to me she got 20 cases, but I couldn't be certain about it. And I also think that these are the 12 packs. If I'm right, that's 240 drinks. And she already has a good 50 or so in her fridge. I guess that answers my question. She's going to intersperse these with the other flavors. She's probably going to, the first few days or first few weeks, going to lean heavily into the witch's brew. And then eventually it's going to become a mix-up. And like, this is my point. Like, You have so much witch's brew that come, let's say, next May or April, February even, are you really gonna want the witch's brew at that point? Maybe, maybe. But I don't really even feel like we're thinking that far ahead because we're just so excited. I learned that in Canada and the US, there's different amounts of caffeine in the Alanis. In Canada, they are 140 milligrams of caffeine per drink. In the US, they're 200. Health Canada is a little bit stricter about energy drinks, like the regulation and caffeine and things, than in the US. And one thing that does concern me a little bit is the caffeine. People, I kind of feel like, are treating these like sodas. And I think in cases, people are drinking 2 to 3 of these a day. But even if you're just drinking one of these a day, are you drinking other sources of caffeine? Because one Alani of 200 milligrams of caffeine is equivalent about to 2 cups of coffee. That is an approximation because how much caffeine you consume in a cup of coffee does have to do with the beans, and how much coffee grinds you're putting into your coffee, like how strongly you brew your coffee, how much you're drinking, how big your cup is even. So 2 Alanis has approximately the equivalent of 4 cups of coffee, which is about the maximum guideline for like healthy caffeine intake. I'm not a doctor. This is not medical advice. However, how much caffeine you can drink and how susceptible you are to caffeine is going to depend on a person. Like each person, some people are very easily influenced by caffeine. Like 1 or 2 cups of coffee and they're jittery and they're up all night. Other people have a bit of a higher tolerance. And so it's not just 4 cups of coffee and that's it. But I just kind of worry a little bit about all of this Alani hype and treating it like a soda, because in very few of these clips do I hear people talking about the caffeine intake, or that it's an energy drink. I've also seen young girls like 14, 15, 16 drinking them every morning before school, which freaks me out. And I think because Alani's can taste and appear like a soda, especially the aesthetics of the can, I think some of the potential, I don't want to say harms, but maybe harms, hopefully you know what I mean, or drawbacks of this drink, I think it can downplay some of those. All I'm saying is that if you are an energy drink person, just be careful. These are an energy drink. If you drink one a day, you're probably going to be fine. There's this other emerging story on TikTok of people who are claiming to be going to the ER because of the Alanis. I'm not a doctor. I'm not going to speculate on that. I'm just saying that you might see it if you are on Alani TikTok. We're going to keep going with these TikToks and we're going to look at some pumpkin cream TikToks now.
Holy shat balls, you guys. I had to go literally into the middle of the booties in the middle of nowhere to find these Alani drinks. These Alani Halloween fall drinks. Literally had to travel like 30 minutes into I don't even know where I was driving through mountains to get here because these were sold out everywhere and I got 2 boxes. They have a new pumpkin cream one, which a lot of people are knocking, but I'm not about to knock it. Okay, I'm like a professional. Oh my god! I'm not overreacting, by the way. This is a total normal reaction to this. Okay. I'm gonna eat this with my antibiotic breakfast. Just get pumpkin cream. Okay, I'm gonna be honest right now. This smell kind of took me aback. Okay, so what I have to say, for being a pumpkin flavored energy drink, which nothing should be pumpkin flavored carbonated, this shit is fire. Like, this is fire. Like, it's giving creamy, it's giving pumpkiny, and it shouldn't be good, but it is. Aspartame to the veins, baby. Give it to me. I'll inject this shit in myself. Do not play. Oh my god. This is probably the only time I'll get this all season because they're sold out until like ever. Okay, well, that was my adventure for the day. If you get your hands on these, you're a lucky duck. Let's celebrate, bitches. Happy Halloween.
Sorry, I'm shaking. Hold on. I don't know that that's a normal reaction. She says this is a normal reaction, but she's screaming in her car multiple times. How is this normal? I think maybe Alani TikTok has blinded her or her reaction to like what's normal because all these folks are all these people on TikTok are so excited about this. Yeah, so this was an insane trial. Like she's very excited. I'm happy for her that she's excited, but also like it's a drink. This honestly sounds disgusting to me. I love pumpkin. I love pumpkin. I really do. But carbonated, like creamy pumpkin sounds like a sensory nightmare. Okay, we're gonna watch another one. Also, she says that she drove out to the boonies for her Alani. Okay, wait, we have another one.
Oh yeah. Let's try Alani's new pumpkin cream Alani. Alani, I have a message for you. Whoever's behind
Wait, I just noticed that this case says fall favorites. You can't call something a fall favorite that nobody's tried before.
this bull crap is genius because you can only find the pumpkin cream in the 12 pack. So now we're forced to buy the 12 pack just to try the pumpkin cream. And there's 3. So if you like it, you're gonna have to buy multiple 12 packs because I can't find it anywhere. This is genius. Now people are buying the 12 pack. I already tried the witch's brew. I already like the witch's brew, so I'm not even mad about it. But still, oh, wrong side. Genius, Alani, genius. We're out. Everyone said this tasted like cream soda with a touch of pumpkin, so we're gonna try it. Oh yeah, let's try it.
She doesn't look like she
I'm gonna be honest. I don't like this. The cinnamon is very strong. This is probably the worst flavor. Some people who really like pumpkin might like this. I'm glad I tried it. Sorry, Alani, you can't be good at everything.
So I hate that. I hate that we're gonna release a limited edition fall flavor. And then we're gonna put it into this one specific pack that you have to buy in order to get. I mean, all the things I said about fall apply here. So it's extra enticing to people. People want to buy it. I don't like it. Smart marketing move on their part, but I don't like it as a consumer, forcing their hand. And then what? Like, you don't like it, what happens to these pumpkin creams? Or you do like it, and what happens? You have to buy all these stupid 12 packs. A lot of people don't like this pumpkin cream flavor. I've seen more people dislike it. And also, to a degree, there's people who try to convince themselves that it's not so bad. But I've seen more people talking about how they don't like it. And that is also creating hype, and people are trying this exclusive flavor and not liking it. One girl spits it out, and people are like, oh my God, I gotta try it too. Is it really that bad? Bad reviews are adding fuel to the fire. And this is where hypervisibility comes in. When a single limited edition flavor is being tried, reacted to, shared, and just, yeah, shared online by hundreds of people, our interest in this drink stops being about the drink. It becomes hyper visible because of the repetition. And so it becomes like cultural noise in a way, and it can feel like everybody's tried it, everybody's done it, everybody's used it. It can feel like importance. Seeing something so much can make it feel more important than it actually is. I can tell you I haven't tried it, nor do I care to. This hypervisibility is creating the illusion of significance. And I talked about this in respect to the Weck jar and people wanting to try the Weck jar because of its hypervisibility. This is similar but different. When you're buying a Weck jar, you're buying a good for life. I mean, even if you don't keep it for life, it's a permanent object. This is a consumable, so I think there's less risk. If you want to try it because of what you're seeing, that's cool. I'm not vilifying you for doing that. I'm just pointing out some of the psychology or some of the rationale that might be at play behind desire or behind why this trend has become a trend and an obsession. I personally do not understand the hype behind consumer goods like this. I don't understand the hype of a drink. It's an energy drink and people are making it their entire personalities. Like, look at how much I love Alani. People are driving hours to go get it. They're searching, they're looking at multiple stores, and it's ending up on our feeds. Drinking energy drinks, liking Alani or liking Witch's Brew or pumpkin cream, perfectly fine. I'm talking about this today because this is another example of commodification, hyper commodification, hyper consumerism around a good. TikTok doesn't just show people drinking their Alani, it becomes glamorized and glorified and overconsumed. Specifically, though, it glamorizes shopping for it. It makes the shopping for the thing the content and the excitement, right? Hunting for the flavors, restocking the fridges. When you see this kind of content over and over again, it normalizes this kind of behavior. It normalizes shopping, collecting, and hunting for everyday objects. And that it's an exciting form of content. This really isn't about whether Alani or liking Alani is good or bad. It's about recognizing a pattern. Social media plus scarcity plus aesthetics equals everyday objects being turned into lifestyle symbols. Whether it's candles or jars, hand sanitizers, or lip glosses, consumer culture thrives on making the ordinary extraordinary. And it convinces us that buying into the cycle is a form of fun, belonging, or in some cases, even self-care. I think in some cases, there's also fetishization or fetishizing on objects. Consumer culture and social media, specifically TikTok, turns so much of life around us into consuming events or turns our interests into ways to consume. A drink can't just be enjoyed, right? Buying one or two at the grocery store, buying one pack and, calling it a day, it becomes something to buy in mass, en bulk, go hunt for. Like it's another thing to chase, buy, and overconsume, to shop for and accumulate in excess. Consumer culture flips our interests, our hobbies, even our daily routines into cycles of buying and accumulating. It's not about the energy drink because it happens with so many objects, so many things. And if you are a viewer of my channel, you've seen many examples this year alone of this exact thing happening. We saw it with the beaded bags. We saw it with the Labubus. We saw it with the wick jars. The fact that there are so many examples of things that are popular just this year speaks a lot. Consuming and shopping is so ingrained in, I would say, North American culture, and shopping as a hobby. There's so much more to say about that. I have videos about the emotional aspects of shopping, the glamorization of overconsumption, the detriments and fallouts and problems of shopping as a hobby. I have lots of that kind of content if you would like to watch it. So that's everything from me today. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope to see you again around here soon for a new video. Bye.